Welcome to James's Oz Emporium. Wizard of Oz Fun Facts number 2.
Hey Oz fans, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a part 2 to Wizard of Oz Fun Facts. A lot of this I didn't know. See, I got 2 pages of fun facts to go over. So Jeremiah, you wanted a part 2, so I'm going to give you a part 2. Number 1 is the lion's costume was actually made out of real lion fur, which weighed about 100 pounds. So you can imagine being hot on set with those Technicolor lights. They probably got pretty hot. They said they had to clean a suit several times a day because he sweat so bad in it. MGM outbid 20th Century Fox for the rights to the movie. Four pairs of ruby slippers were worn for the set. And there's several more made, but they never made it in production. Judy Garland wore a blonde wig and had heavy makeup before they edited it and cut all that out. Imagine Dorothy wearing a blonde wig. That just wouldn't look right. The ruby slippers were 2 different sizes. One was a size 5 and one was a size 6. The film was nominated for 6 Oscars. The tornado was a 35-foot long muslin stocking on a fan. It spun around. It looked like dust when it was spinning. So that's how they came up with the tornado idea in the movie. But in the movie, Dorothy says there's no place like home. But in the book, it says take me home to Aunt Em, which I personally have not read the books. I don't have that kind of time to sit and read. So I just prefer to watch the movie. The crystal ball was used as a prop in another movie, which that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. The Wicked Witch's death certificate in the Munchkin Land is dated May 6, 1938. It's the 20th anniversary of Frank L. Baum's death. The L in Frank L. Baum stands for Lyman, which I didn't know that. Baum published 17 sequels to The Wizard of Oz, which I knew he wrote a bunch, but I didn't think it was that many. For 20 years before Baum became famous, he was a chicken breeder. That's an interesting career compared to being a writer. Garland won an award for her role. She called it the Munchkin Award. I didn't even know she had won any awards for that movie. But Judy Garland also tried to adopt Toto, but the owner refused to give her up. Most of the Munchkins were from Europe and couldn't speak English very well, so they had to do voiceovers for them. But if you remember in the movie when Dorothy meets Professor Marvel and hands him that picture of Aunt Em, he never gave it back. But you remember when Dorothy, the Wicked Witch, tried to touch the ruby slippers and the flames came off of them? It was actually apple juice sped up to make it look like fire. I didn't even know that. But Judy Garland kept laughing on set, and Victor Fleming pulled her aside and slapped her once, and from there she nailed the part in the movie where she slaps the lion in the first take after Victor Fleming slapped her because she kept giggling. But it also found out that Disney tried to buy the rights to The Wizard of Oz, which I don't know if they ever did, but they back then, I didn't even know they tried. There was a lot of winged monkeys that got injured on set because the ropes were breaking. But Glenda, who was played by Billy Burke, did all her own singing. If you remember right, she was in her 50s and she sounded pretty good for playing that role. They couldn't have picked a better person to play Glenda. But Baum came up with The Wizard of Oz when he was struggling as a child. MGM bought the rights for Wizard of Oz. They paid $75,000 back then. So you can imagine that's like $3.5 million today's dollars. But if you notice real closely, in a couple of takes, Judy Garland's hair gets shorter and longer and up in braids during the whole movie. But Dorothy in the movie and in the book was named after the death of Frank Baum's niece. I didn't know that. I'm learning all this. But they made another pair of ruby slippers for the 50th anniversary of the movie. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was actually another pair made. But one of the actors hurt Toto and actually stepped on his paw and injured him on set. But some of the actors put in 12 to 16 hours a day working on set. So you can imagine being in a costume under those Technicolor lights. It probably got pretty hot. But the guy that played the coroner, which I met at a festival in Indiana a long time ago, he was actually an airplane pilot during World War II. That's pretty neat. I didn't know that. But The Wizard of Oz was the first movie ever to be aired on movie networks, or national networks, I should say, like ABC, NBC, for examples. But I found out that doing some research that Judy Garland was married 5 times. That's crazy nowadays to think somebody's been married 5 times, especially if she was only in her 60s when she died. But I also found out that Judy Garland died while in London. I don't know if that's where she was buried or not. I'll have to find out. I'll Google that. But there's also a Judy Garland museum up in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, which I plan on visiting next year. And there's also another new museum opened up in Florida. I don't know, some of you have heard about it. It's outside of Cape Canaveral, Florida. I plan on visiting next year as well. I'm going to do videos on my explorations of the museums. So I'll be posting those on my channel. But last but not least, but Judy Garland has 3 kids. One of them I met at a festival last year in Indiana. His name's John Luft. But that's all the facts that I have for you. So if you think of any more facts that I missed, drop a comment down below and maybe I'll add them to future videos. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for stopping in and seeing this, y'all. Come back next time.